Hello guys and welcome back to Inverse Audio. As always, I'm 5X and today we've got a banger for you. We've got an interview with the one and only Changing Faces, and he's going to be doing a track breakdown on his latest release, Do It All Again. Now before we do get in the actual video, I just quickly want to say that I'm currently running a 50% off summer sale on the Inverse Audio website. So if there's any sample packs that you haven't got, now would be a great time. The sale's only going to last for a week long, but without any further ado, let's get right in the video. Okay, so hello and welcome Changing Faces to Inverse Audio. How are you doing today?
Hey man, I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm really glad to be on this channel.
Awesome. So today, tell us what we're going to be doing.
So I will show like a quick breakdown of my latest release. The track is called Do It All Again, and it's quite generic, but I think a lot of people want to know how to make this type of track, so I thought it would be a great idea to show it.
Oh yeah, sounds awesome. Let's get into it. Yeah, so maybe before we get into the breakdown, let's just in case anyone hasn't heard Do It All Again, we'll play a quick little preview.
Right, so I will just go to the... Right, so that's how the track sounds. Basically, when it comes to the production and so on, it's not actually that complicated. I would say the main element there is definitely the vocal. This is like the main
Wake up, party till the morning and we'll do it all again. Get it started in my apartment, go and tell all of your friends. It's the party of the century, it's the night that never ends. Wake up, party till the morning and we'll do it all again.
And then it's repeating like, do it all again,
do it all again, do it all again, do it all.
And basically, it's really simple, but I think it gets stuck in your head. I would say that this track is also inspired by tech house, which is music that I listen to a lot. This vocal is all like actually from a tech house demo.
Oh, okay, cool.
So another main element is the standard dance floor 8-note bass, sounds like this. And when we look at the piano roll, it's basically two notes, just F and D sharp. But you can see that I'm using like a lower and higher octaves. Obviously, here's also like another note, but you can see that the main part of the bass is just these two notes. When you are making this type of tracks, it's kind of tricky to make it in a way that it stays interesting. And you can like make it slightly more interesting just by doing the octave jumps, because it's a variation and it does a lot of change to it.
Sounds like a very fat mid bass though. Sounds very nice.
Yeah, I think there's some distortion on it definitely. I don't want to go that into details because this tutorial will be so long. But there's like another layer. This is Serum, even using the old one because I made this track like last year. And then the layer is basically like a one-shot sample or something like that. This is the one-shot sample.
Shout out to Muzz. Oh yeah.
So it has slightly like a different tone, and I don't know, I just felt like first one, like the main one, needed a little layer, and I couldn't find anything good, and then I was just browsing through the one-shots. Then another main element is another like samples that I layered, and those are one-shots. And I would say that these are a little bit more dubsteppy. You can hear that like they are kind of like talking between each other. It's like a little call and response. Another layer is this step.
Yeah, that one's very cool.
This is the main layer. Then we have this one, then this one. And for example, this is not even like a bass step. It's like a synth or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds like a brass.
Yeah, but it's like a high-pitched brass, but together with the bass step, good, like they work together. And when we look at the mixer, so basically every bass step has just some EQing. Sometimes I'm like either removing some frequencies or boosting some frequencies when that specific step plays. It's really important to have a good sound selection. Each one of the sound has something that I liked. some specific tone or something. So that's what I'm doing with the EQs, and then they are in one like a bus, again with some EQ and just some standard clip and so on.
What would you say the most important thing to keep in mind when layering? What should you do?
Well, definitely not using like the same sounds. So for example, I wouldn't use something like that I already had there, but try to look for similar sounds, but maybe with like a little bit different tone or character, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
Like you can just experiment, and like I said, this is not even a bass, it's just some step or so. And I used to do this a lot. Like I like using a lot of one shots. For example, even like a piece of some FX sample, like a siren or whatever, could work as well. But I spent ages to find something that works. So it just took so long to find something that works.
That sounds good, yeah.
So these are the bass steps, because without them, the track would be pretty boring.
Do it all again.
It's like they are also like filling the spaces between the saw melody and the Reese fill, which I will talk about now. If you look at the Reese fill, again, just 2 or 3 notes playing with the octaves. So the same principle as with the 8-note bass. And that's also with the saw melody. It's just literally 1 note. This is on lower octave and this is on higher. And it just it gives you a nice variation. Everything is just made really simply. Like for example, this is just like a icon has kick, and you can see that they are detuned and so on. So we're like doing like the phasing. Same is happening with the saw melody. As you can see, it's the same. Just I mean, this one is not icon has kick, but they sound super similar. I would say the Reese fill is a little bit dirtier or a little bit harder than this one. But yeah, it's just super simple sound, just literally these and then some basic FX.
Yeah, definitely a really good, the bass in this whole track just sounds really full, and I think a lot of it comes down from the movement of the octaves, how you have certain things high and low. It keeps the energy really high.
Yeah, definitely. And even when you look like at the playlist, you can see that here is where the bass steps plays, then this is the saw melody, this is the Reese fill, and so on. And you can see that they are not fighting together. So everything has a place. They have a space to breathe on their own. Sometimes like less is more, I would say, when it comes to making music.
100%, yeah, fully agree. Everything needs space to breathe, and I see a lot of newer producers, and they try and put like 10 different things in at once, and then they wonder why it sounds muddy.
And then when we move to second 16 bar, this is like my classic arrangement. So I usually do like the A part is like the main things, main lead or melody or whatever. And then the second 16 bar is like removing some of the elements or the lead melody and so on, and making a space for the vocal. I removed the bass steps from here, the saw melody. The Reese fill is only at the end of the phrase because it's also like a part of the transition to the last 16 bar. I put there different bass step, which is like some preset as well. It sounds like this. It says like a yay, something like that.
Yoy.
And then I have here like the classic rave steps. So it's basically same sound, but this one is like a more reverb and this one is a little bit more tight. But again, they sound better together. Well, I said that you shouldn't like layer 2 same sounds, but I would say in this case it kind of works because they're not completely the same, but
yeah, they have different qualities.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you're layering a snare. So for example, using, like a start of the snare and then maybe like a noise tail from the other one.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I have here this like a Hoover thing, which is that tech house element, one of the tech house elements that I was talking about. I really love this kind of Hoover synths. It works perfectly as a fill. And then there's the vocal that I played earlier. This is how it would sound without the vocal. Yeah, I think the Hoover melody works there well. And again, it's adding something else and keeping the track slightly interesting because it's like a new element that it's not anywhere else, just only in this section and obviously in the second 16 bar, second drop. And then there is another 16 bar. What I would usually do is that I would just copy and paste the first one because sometimes it's out of laziness. This is like not an advice, don't do this, don't be lazy, but especially with this type of dance floor tracks, as I said, it's quite a challenge to make them interesting. But I had an idea for this. So it's again the saw melody, but this time it's a little bit more complicated. Not when it comes to the notes. I'm again using just 3 notes and working with the octaves, but you can see it's like a little bit busier.
Right, you're just adding movement over time essentially and evolving the ideas you already have.
Yeah. It worked well in this section. I think, honestly, I like this melody even more than this one because it's not that like a similar or something like that to other tracks, but it just didn't work. It just like I was trying to make it work in the first drop, first 16 bar, but it just didn't work. But it works well here. What I did here as well, as you can see, it is like a different color. So if we look in the piano roll, it's the same melody, but you can see that the notes are a little bit longer, and they are even longer later on. It basically is keeping the melody evolving again, and it's like preparing the track to go to the breakdown, but it's also making it less boring if you listen to it on its own. And again, it's just something really simple. It's like a detail that helps a lot. So I also recommend experimenting with the notes, like with the length of the notes and so on. Maybe even, the velocity, volume, and so on. Especially, for example, when you are making piano chords and so on, because it sounds more natural, but that's a little bit off topic when it comes to this track. And then I think another thing that I really like to do a lot, especially in the last 16 bar before the breakdown, is I like to add this type of just like a sustained high note, like a string or synth.
I feel like it's very true to the tech house as well that you were talking about.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just super simple. It's like, I would say, one of the most like even dumb sounds, or how to say it, that you could use, like super lame, but it just adds a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I like to use it a lot. And then I found this like an ARP sample. Which I liked as well, but I couldn't think of a way how to use it. So I thought that I would use it as a transition, basically, like a type of like an FX.
It works really, really well, actually. I wouldn't think you could use that in drum and bass, to be honest, but yeah, no, very nice.
And then another transition that's worth to mention is maybe this. It's like a snare roll with some claps and ride and some FX. So that's what I have like between all the 16 bars. You see it here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a little bit tech housey type of.
Yeah, definitely some of the sound selection there, super tech housey.
Obviously I skipped the intro and build up, but I can just come back to it a little bit later. Another thing is this breakdown. So maybe this will be a little bit unexpected now because it's actually like a trap breakdown. I don't even know why I did this, but I think I was just browsing Splice and I found this sample. And I thought it sounds sick, maybe I can make it work. And I wanted to add some sirens and so on. And I thought that, I don't know, I just thought that it would work. So then I found like the drums and I added some extra like snares.
classic trap snare.
Yeah, classic trap, exactly. Was even lazy to do like a classic sidechaining, so I just did like a volume automation on the trap bass sample.
I was about to say, it sounds really good. Like the sidechain is so clean, even though it is just a simple volume automation. In this case, 100%, it works so well.
So so basically just on the kick, not even on the snare. And then there's the siren melody, which is again some sample. I have the vocal here as well, but if you listen to it, it sounds like EQ'd a lot because I wanted to do like a radio type of EQing or something. So I'm just taking away all the lows and some of the highs, and it sounds like when you are talking through phone or something like that. So again, just something super simple, but does the variation and it makes it a little bit less boring. Then I have that ARP here again, and this is basically build up for the second drop, which is identical to the first one. I'm just not using 3 16 bars, but just 2. The full track is 3 minutes 20 seconds long. It's mostly because of the streaming, and it's like a radio version.
So I wanted to ask you about track lengths. How do you feel about, tracks becoming shorter? And is it something that you're noticing that you're doing in your music and making tracks shorter just for streaming purposes? And then do you do an extended mix as well? How do you deal with that?
So we sometimes do, like with the label, sometimes we do 2 versions, and basically one is shorter. It's like for the Spotify and all the digital platforms and so on. And then sometimes we have extended mix that's just on the Beatport or other shops where you can buy the track for the DJ purposes. I would say that unfortunately, I think the tracks are short because of people not giving attention as well, and maybe because of Spotify as well. I mean, this is another topic.
Yeah.
But I think, for example, with this track, if I played... So it's actually not how it was before. When I had it, it sounded maybe something like this. But it's quite boring, and you wanna kind of hook up the listener right from the beginning.
Yes, of course.
So that's why I added the 8 note and a piece of the a radio filtering vocal, because it works better and there's a bigger chance that the listener will be more hooked from the beginning. So it's a little bit psychological as well.
Yeah. And also I was gonna say, related to the track lengths, for a Beatport master, do you make the mix louder and do you turn it down for streaming services, or do you just have one volume?
So this is actually something I've been kind of struggling or questioning, or honestly didn't know how to deal with this, because I noticed that I just have one master for everything, but I'm not sure it's the correct way, because every time when I listen to other music on Spotify, from my favorite artists, the track is much louder than it sounds loud everywhere else. But so I'm currently trying to solve this, because I honestly have no idea how it should be, because you hear a lot of different suggestions from other people and different advices, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think every artist does it differently, and it just changes song to song and circumstance and whatever.
Just annoying to deal with this. You just want to make music.
Yeah.
And you also have to think of these
10 million technical things.
Yeah. Other than also being an influencer these days. Like I said, the intro was a little bit different, but this works better, and it's just 1 16 bar. Then there's already the build up, so it's just 2 16 bars. Pretty quick, but I would say that obviously not everyone has to agree, but in my opinion, I think it's better to make the intro shorter than longer and boring.
100%.
So because I don't know what I would add here, it doesn't make sense to, especially when the vocal is like this. It's not it's not emotional track with amazing lyrics about breakup or something.
Yeah.
And if I use that phrase all again, pun intended, it would be, I think you will be fed up with it, because it's actually almost...
Yeah, it's throughout the whole thing 3 minutes, but I think because it is such a catchy top line, it does work really well, actually.
So yeah, that's why I'm just doing 2 16 bars here, including the build up, and it's the same in the breakdown. and here is the track, just 216 bars, not 3. And if we scroll down, you can see I have a lot of effects, like a lot of impacts and crash, some sweeps, downlifters. I like to use these not only like through the transitions or in the intro or breakdown, but also like in the track, like when the main part of the track is happening. I don't know, I just think it adds energy. But for example, as I said, like I made this track at some point last year, and when I listen to it now, I would probably turn these guys a little bit down because I think it's too much. I mean, this is not like the master or something, so maybe it sounds a little bit better in the final product. Sometimes it can be super overwhelming or filling or something, so I would suggest maybe to edit the FX like later in the process.
Yeah, 100%.
From the beginning. And everything here, I think like it's cut off from the lows.
Yeah.
And everything is going to the sidechain as well, because you don't want to kill the drums with these wide noises.
Do you sidechain those to the kick and the snare?
Yes. Okay. I do, and it's also creating that nice pumping effect, so that's also adding a little bit of something.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Then I have some uplifters, some risers, some build-ups. I mean, these are probably some, stuff from other projects I had, just, like consolidate everything and just make like some samples, so it speeds up.
Do you do that often, and do you think it's important to kind of save your favorite sounds and reuse them, so you in a way build up your own sound as an artist through not just through main stylistic choices but things like effects and extra add-ons?
Yeah, definitely, because like obviously I can say that this track is generic, but every time when you make something, you are kind of building your style, and it doesn't have to be only just by, I don't know, for example, when you listen to Daft Punk, it's them, or
super
because
iconic
of the melodies, or it's, I don't know, maybe vibe chemistry because of the female rap vocals. But you can build your style in a way, even like how you layer sounds or how you write your melodies, what type of risers are you using, or what type of vocal are you using. If you maybe have some specific one shot before the drop, for example, like Rova has that Who sample, So it can be anything really. And I think it's a good question, because I think everyone is struggling, especially when you are like a upcoming artist or, like a new producer. I would say that everyone will give you an advice to have your own sound, but I would say it's not that easy to build your own sound. I feel like everything has been, already made, and you are just kind of like taking inspiration from a lot of people and then making your own twist.
Yeah, I think I would agree, that's kind of the way that I'm building my sound at the minute. I think it's one of those things where you go back and you question yourself so much. You're like, okay, what is my sound? Am I building it? But no one will ever be able to replicate that. It's just the way that you do things through your own process. That's what makes it your sound.
For example, I don't think I have my own sound, but if I listen to my tracks, or I ask this to someone else, they will tell me that yes, they can they can, like they know it's my track.
Okay, so is there anything in this track that you feel like you've done, something that maybe that's really unique but you're really proud of in this song in particular?
I wouldn't say like something specific, but maybe like overall is that I'm really happy with this track, because it's something that I wanted to make, but I couldn't crack like the dance floor code, or how to say it. Maybe someone knows that I come from like a liquid DnB background, and I've been like trying to transform to dance floor in the past few years. So I'm happy that I could finally like understand how it works and how to make it. Obviously there's like a lot of things you can still learn, because it's really technical and it's way more difficult than liquid DnB. So yeah, I would say that that's the thing for me, like that I was able to transform my liquid DnB head to this.
Yeah, I love to hear it. No, the stuff that you've been coming out with recently, sounds amazing. Also, the collab that we've started is it sounds great too.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that, guys. I'm not going to say anything just yet, but yeah, we're
just need to finish it. That's the worst problem.
We're cooking though, don't worry.
Instead of starting another 20 projects.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions for the little interview on Inverse Audio, something that we do with the artist track breakdowns. So, I think first question, when did you first start producing and what inspired you to do it?
It was ages ago. I think I was like 14 maybe. I'm 29 now, so like a half of my life.
It's crazy.
And I've been always into like creative stuff. I also used to draw and stuff like that. And I don't know, like I'm kind of like a introverted person, so I always chose to stay at home and do something on my computer. And I used to listen to a lot of hip hop, and that's how I started making music. Some rap beats on a software called EJ.
EJ.
If you are old enough,
So when did you get into drum and bass then? How long ago was that?
I think maybe like 15, 16. I can't remember for sure, but I know that, for example, when I was 17, I was already playing on electricity in Belgium.
Oh, that's crazy, yeah. That's insane. What's one thing you used to do in your production that makes you cringe now?
Making shitty tracks.
Anything in particular that made them bad?
Oh, yeah, I know. So, for example, I wasn't using sidechain until like 2019, I guess. I didn't even know what that is.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to go to your discography again and see if I can hear sidechain or not.
It was either 2019 or 2017, I don't know, but I knew that, I'm not the most technical person, and I was just... And when it comes to Liquid, it doesn't really matter, like, I think...
Yeah.
Obviously it's important, but if you didn't use sidechain in a dance floor, that would be a huge issue. Yeah. But with Liquid, you can kind of get away with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. So what are the 3 plugins that you can't live without? And I'm not going to accept Serum and Pro Q4. That's too boring.
Right, so I'm going to choose Serum 2 and Pro Q3.
Okay, that's 2. One more.
One more is the Kilohertz bundle, the 3 plugins.
Yeah.
And if I had to pick only one of them, I would say the Transgate.
Yes.
That's really handy. But it's hard to choose just one, but this would be the go-to, I think.
What piece of advice would you give to younger producers who are watching this?
I have a lot of advices, but I would say the most important one is to, don't compare yourself, like, especially what you see on the social media. You don't know what's behind, and it's like half of the stuff is not even how it looks. So I just wouldn't look at it and take it that serious. Obviously, use it for an inspiration, but everyone has different journey and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also saying it because I'm still learning that as well, so it's good to remind
Yeah,
you.
no, me too. It's definitely thief. What did it say? Thief is the comparison.
Comparison is a thief of joy.
Yeah, that's the one. I said it the wrong way around. So, what's next for Changing Faces this year? Have you got anything exciting coming up that you can maybe...
I released the track last year. It's called Rave Machine, and it received quite a good feedback, and I made a VIP version of that, and it's even better. I'm really happy with it, and it will be out later this year. And I'm just working on some other new tracks and so on. But this is gonna be my next release.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear it. If you could swap positions with any producer for a week, who would it be and why?
So it would be either Sub Focus or Dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Because of the skill they have, because of the connections they have, because of the songwriters and vocalists they know, because of experience the huge stages and the huge events.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. If I was to answer that question, I'd probably definitely say K9 as well. That's another one.
Yeah.
Is there a weird genre that you secretly love? I know you said tech house. Would it be that?
Yeah, but it's not that weird genre, but I absolutely love like the 2000 hits, like Britney Spears, and I grew up on that music, so it's really sick. Like, I don't know like how they did the production, but it sounds so fresh still, like it's quality. The mix down, it's just, I don't know what they did, but it's super old, but still slaps.
Would you rather lose your sample library or your plugin folder?
I think the sample library, because you set samples, not presets.
Oh, yeah, no, I guess that's true. I mean, they're part of the... Okay, cool. What would you say the best way to get your music heard in 2025 is?
In 2025, Probably TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, but you need to know what to do and you need to do a lot of it.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's missing. So if anyone's watching as a TikTok guru, start like a channel on how to blow up on TikTok. That'll be useful. If you could collab with anyone, who would it be? Doesn't have to be drum and bass.
Only one name.
Or if we could say one vocalist, one producer.
Okay, so vocalist, maybe like Billie Eilish or Dua Lipa.
Oh wow,
one of
yeah,
them.
that would sound amazing.
And producer, again, like either Dimension or Subfocus.
Yeah, maybe give it a couple of years and who knows.
Yeah, that would be a dream.
And if you can't say Subfocus or Dimension, who would be a dream back-to-back if you haven't played with them already?
Honestly, I hate back-to-backs, so
Wow.
I'm gonna skip on this because I love playing all the tracks and I love to have the, like the boot just for myself because I enjoy DJing a lot. It's maybe I like it a little bit more than producing.
Really? Wow, that's surprising.
It's not that technical,
Yeah, I get you're just kind of having fun, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, the production, I love like the songwriting more, like all the melodies and arrangement and so on, but I don't like technical things.
Okay, and then just some funny questions. How many raccoons do you think you could take on in a fight?
Maybe like 2 only.
2. I thought you could do it. What if you had a baseball bat?
3.
3. Okay, cool. So if you were shipwrecked on a deserted island, what three items would you bring?
So it's not an item, but I would bring my dog. And then the other 2 things. So first would be like a laptop with all the gear, obviously,
Yeah.
like a serum, so I could make music. And then unlimited Mexican food, including drinks.
Oh, nice.
I could survive that.
Yeah, I think most people could, to be fair. It sounds like a nice holiday.
Yeah.
And last question, if you could have dinner with any 3 famous people, dead or alive, who would it be?
I would say like maybe The Weeknd, and then a guy that is like a big inspiration. His name is George Heaton. He runs like a clothing brand, Represent.
Yeah.
And then maybe Subfocus. I would say Dimension, but I had dinner with him many times. So
Oh, okay. Then need to.
I will say Subfocus.
To be fair, I've had food with him as well. So he's amazing. I love him.
Yeah. So it's easier to choose now.
Well, anyway, I just want to say thank you for being on the channel. I've really enjoyed interviewing you, and the track sounds amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it as well. Obviously, there's a lot more I could talk about, but we will be here forever. But if anyone has any questions regarding the track or, just want to say hello, you can do either in the comments or on my Instagram. I'm active there the most. Hope this was helpful, and maybe I'll see you next time.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, thanks ever so much for watching, guys, and we shall see you at the next one. Peace.